morning, fellow Martians. This is going to be a top tip on getting started mining, and which is code for resource acquisition. What you need to get started in the game to have exactly what you need to succeed without a horrible failure. So what that's actually going to be is enough parts to make another jackhammer, and those are going to come from iron. Right now, iron, when you start out, is your highest priority. If you run out of jackhammers, they deplete faster than you think. If you do not have enough jackhammers to continue and you do not have enough iron to make another jackhammer, you have failed your game. This is very important. Your priority, then, is to get enough iron to keep replacing your jackhammers. When you get back here, you're going to print more jackhammers with the printer, which I'm going to demonstrate here. Click jackhammer. If you want to make more at once, you hit the arrows. You hit add, it will print, go to inventory, go to printer container, it'll spit out here when it's done. Go back to printing to see the progress, perhaps queue up a couple other things while you're at it. First aid kits are very useful, by the way. Here's the parts like small pipe, steel plate. Those take a lot of iron, by the way. Huh, that's actually a lot of iron, right? It seems like a small number, but that's actually a lot of iron. Okay. You'll find when you use a jackhammer, if all you are doing is mining, which most games that's what you do, every other rock needs to be iron to keep replacing your jackhammer. And that's actually no good. In the scheme of resource acquisition in this game, what you actually need to be doing is getting grinders and going to abandoned bases, of which the map is plentiful. You are not going to have the tech that you need to be sustainable with your base when you start the game. You need to grind down bases to build your materials experience. You need to mine to build your mechanics experience, especially in hard mode. You won't have access to all the tools. But as you can see on the map, there are a ton of abandoned bases. This is how you're going to get your food. This is how you're going to get your most expensive resources like those pipes and plates. Is by taking a old grinder, finding boxes and stuff. This is a level 3 grinder. Level 1 grinder will work on boxes and stuff, and that will get you those pipes and those plates. In fact, grinding is what you want to do first thing in the morning. If you start with a grinder, you will probably have an abandoned base nearby that you can run to, find some boxes, grind them down, look around for food, make sure you open boxes, and just look around, find some food, see what other bases you can find near you. Open that radar, right click, track something, add an icon, and then you can keep track of where you've been. You can change the icon later to something else when you have finished it so that you can keep track of where you've been. It's very important. I've been here before, so I marked it. Yeah, these abandoned bases are your resource acquisition in this game. But there will be some things that you cannot get with the grinder when you start out, namely circuit boards, which are life and death, by the way. You have to have circuit boards. Also, the electronics and solar panels are going to require mining silicon and iron. So again, every other rock is going to need to be iron, but most of your jackhammer replacement stuff will come from busting down these old buildings, busting down the crates there. As you get a better grinder, you can grind more stuff to get more variety of parts. That'll be your main resource acquisition method, grinding. But mining, get some iron, get some silicon, look for calcium to make cement. That's the only way to make cement. And then you will have what you need to build your base, your starting base. Ooh, this is actually an advanced base, but what you need is 2 or 3 small circuit boards, 7 solar panels, 2 transformers, a battery pack, and a workshop with 2 airlocks and a ramp. That's going to take you about a month in the game. You are going to have to get out there and explore to get those food packs to keep surviving, and then it takes time for food to grow, etc., etc. Get out grinding, people. That is how you get your resources. All right, back to mining. Okay, how do we find rocks? Well, there's rocks everywhere. There's those big brown ones over there. There's these small gray ones over here. Guess what? The small gray ones are better. You know why? Because every piece of them is rock that turns into ore. If it says ready to load, that's something that turns into, hallelujah, it's calcium. Okay, calcium is super rare and important and valuable. Yay! Okay, it said unknown ore. Once I get through the second phase of it, I know that it's calcium. If I didn't want calcium right now, I could just stop, leave it out here, and come back to it later when I need it. But calcium is precious and vital resource that you're always going to need. But, you know, if I didn't need it at the time, I could just leave it sitting there. Okay, good stuff. What's in this one? Oh, this one is silicon. Okay, need silicon for solar panels and stuff. That's good stuff. Yep, that's good stuff. Okay, cool, cool. But, you know, maybe I don't need it right now. I'll just leave it sitting there. Then when I come back here, I can see this is a calcium rock. This is a silicon rock. Okay, great. ATV, by the way, great way to get around. Let's go see what's in some other rocks over here. But Kenna, the scanner says it'll detect rocks. Not at level 1 it doesn't. Level 2 it will, but you saw how fast it was to scan to do that. See? Aluminum. Okay. What's this one? Silicon. Okay, great. This is a brown rock. Why did I prioritize gray rocks? I said that the entirety of that is the mineable rock. Well, here, brown rock has an outer shell. The brown is outer shell. What you're getting to is this gray that's embedded inside. Only those gray pieces are what you're looking for that turns into ore. I will get a lot less rock out of a big brown rock than I will a small gray rock. Again, for color reference, it is distinctly gray compared to the brown of this rock over here. Best seen, you know, in sunlight. You can also see it better with the light. You can see this gray and red rock sticking out of it. That is what will turn into the aluminum ore. Kenna, this thing says you're going to get like 800, how much was it? 800 aluminum out of it? But each of these things, it only turns into like 8. Okay, so 8, 10, all right, this is like 80. It said 800. What give? Well, the reason for that, here, I'll show you, is because jackhammers are not very efficient mining tools. They kind of, you know, rapidly poke it with a stick until it turns into little rocks. But you see, this says it's like 100 aluminum, 25 silicon, 40 calcium, but when I jackhammer it, it just turns into 8. That's 10%. What give? Okay, well, you need a crusher. Where do you get the crusher? Technology, materials. Materials tech comes from deconstructing things. You'll need it for the workshop, but you have to go all the way up here to get the crusher. Yeah, it's going to be a while. You're going to be hand mining for a while. Okay. Make sure, again, that since you're using the jackhammer to mine, make sure you spend enough time getting iron. Poke a rock, see what's in it. If it's not iron, keep that iron outside, and then you will be able to keep making more jackhammers. Again, failing to have replacement jackhammers is a game fail. Here's another kind of rock. What does this one do? Ew. Alright. Well, that was efficient. No, small. Okay, noted. Also, top tip. I am not touching W right now. No, I am not. This is Mars. Low gravity, light little vehicle. It's going to coast for ages. This is fantastic. I'm saving a ton of power by just letting inertia, which is a property of matter. Thanks Bill Nye. It is doing all the work for me. I am just coasting. Use hills as much as you can. You can be out further for longer. I'm coming up to my crusher up here. It has a Mars truck parked by it. The Mars truck is literally useless without a crusher. Do not get a Mars truck. Do not build a Mars truck unless you have a crusher. It is a bit of a trap right now. Hopefully the devs work on it. But the way that the Mars truck works is that anything you put in the back of it turns into ore. And it turns into ore that you cannot retrieve unless you have a crusher. Here, I'll show you. Right, I'm going to take a suit battery. Drop it in. Okay, that failed horribly. Alright, let's try this again. Let's take some aluminum plates. Huh. Okay, right. Oh, and now I'm stuck. Okay, that's another reason you don't want to do that. All right. Anyway. Why does it seem like the time just changed? I don't know what you're talking about. Why is your character out of stamina? I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing happened here. Nothing to see. Move along. Okay. Also, running. Running uses your stamina. Your stamina means that you get hungrier and dehydrated faster, which means you have to take more trips out in the field, which is less time mining, to get more food packs and whatnot, and you have to come back more often to get more water. Don't run early game. Later you can be lazy like me. Kenna, what does ready to load mean? See if any of these actually say ready to load. Okay, this normally says ready to load. That means ready to load into a crusher. You can pick them up by hand. This is annoying, but this is totally doable. You don't need a truck in order to do this. You just take this and you carry it up to the crusher, which takes a little bit, but you know what? It works. Drop it. See, inventory is empty. Okay, gonna open the crusher. And there we go. There is everything that was in that rock. This is like an entire, 5 big rocks worth of mining right there in that one piece. Here, I'll show you again. I'll come out here and I'll pick up another one. Remember to build a solar panel to charge your crusher. It doesn't have to have a battery. I just did because I'm silly. Look, another rock. All right. Whee! Remember, this is the gray rock, which is either embedded in the brown rock, or it's just, the parts of the little gray rocks. You get it to say ready to load, and that means you can pick it up, which is comical because it's so big. Drop it in, and get massive amounts of ore out of it. This is how you build big bases. Great. Okay, that is how that works. How does the truck work, though? Okay, I will show you. Let's pop into the truck. The back is mysteriously empty. Like I didn't accidentally drop a bunch of plates in it that screwed my game. Meh. Coincidence. Okay. View sucks. Press V to go to the other view. Okay. We're gonna go over here, get some rocks. Whee! This can hold 5 ready to load rocks in the back side of it. So you just drive over. Drive over. Keep it third person, so why not? Grab the rock. Dump it in. Grab the rock. You're gonna do this 5 times. Kenna, did those rocks just teleport? Shh, we don't talk about that. Okay, it is now full. I know, because if I try and put a 6 rock in it, it doesn't load. Also, it will tell you, too heavy of a load. Manually throw the extra rock outside. Okay, fine. Boop, alright. Let's go unload. Get back in the truck. See, it says, storage space, rock, 100%, totally full, happy, happy, happy truck. Always drive the truck in third person because first person view sucks. Alright. Oh, also, this thing is very slow. So if you start on a hill, don't drive uphill turning to try to turn it. Instead, back up to go down the hill with some speed and turn that way. That'll save you a lot of headache. Okay. So we're just going to go up the ramp. Okay, not touching W because I'm coasting. It's Mars. This goes forever. It's okay to drive on that with the truck. All right, we're going to go forward until it tells us that we can unload. This has to be in first person. Come on, come on. There we go. Unloading. Change your camera. That is the only way to unload the back of the truck. Okay. Also, it's really funny driving on this thing, which is exactly why I did it. Oh, that's right. I'm now parked on this thing, and my door is facing left side. You know what's going to happen when I pop out? Let's find out. I got lucky. I've died in that thing. All right, let's look over here. How much did we get? We got a metric ton. Yay! That's how the truck works. There you go. Also, again, truck useless without a crusher. Kenna, the rocks I want to mine are way out there, and the crusher's way over here. That's a ton of driving, especially if you only get 5 gray rocks at a time. Ugh, that sounds like a pain in the butt. You know what the answer to that is, my friend, my dear? That's right. Break it down into parts. You get a 100% return, rebuild it out where you need it, which would probably be nice out in that gray rock field I found earlier because there are a ton of rocks. Yes, you grind it down and you build it where you need it. Medium solar panel or like 2, 3 regular solar panels into a transformer, into the crusher, and you are good to go. Put it where the resources are. Don't do a bunch of running around. That's inefficient. That wastes your time, which wastes your food, which will make your game a lot harder. And that is all. So, as a quick reminder, your first priority on your first day is to get out and get enough iron that you can make yourself either a backup jackhammer if you don't have a grinder yet, or to just take the grinder, look on your map, find an abandoned base, of which there are a ton around. Go and bust down some of the crates and things you find there. Look for MREs, get circuit boards, tap Z to help find those things. MREs are food, by the way. As you move to those bases, look on your map, mark other ones that you can travel to, follow them in line, keep grinding things down. This is your primary resource acquisition method, especially before your farm has completed its first cycle. You need to be grinding things to get materials points for your workshop. Then you use those things to build some electric panels back home to trickle charge your electric experience so that you can get the transformer and the battery, which is what you need for a sustainable base. Transformer, battery, materials from grinding, gets a workshop. Mechanics, you're gonna, especially hard mode, you need to be mining to get the blowtorch, to get the grinder, right? So you're just gonna keep getting iron, first priority, to get more jackhammers, get some experience here, make your grinder, make your blowtorch, make sure you can get more jackhammers to get more iron, and then go out grinding. Grind at the start of the day, come home and mine at the end of the day. When you're mining, you know, you want to get enough iron to get more jackhammers. You also want to get calcium for cement if you can, and you need silicon for solar panels and electronics, which your level 1 grinder will not get from bases yet. Level 2 grinder will. You want to find what's in a rock, just tap it. Gray rocks are better than brown rocks because the entire thing is mineable. Truck is useless without a crusher. Hopefully they change that soon. ATVs are great. Don't run, you get hungry faster. That sucks. Just like real life. Don't run. And that, let's see, is there anything else that I ought to mention? No, you want to get resources, it's going to be grinding. It's not going to be mining. And you don't need to really get started on serious mining until you've ground down a couple things and you have enough food to last you a couple days. If you've only got a day's worth of food, you need to go get more food. That's your top priority. Make sure you're back home into the day to refill your water at the well and not freeze to death, and that should give you a solid start to your game. All right, have fun.